The transfer window has shut, and whilst we have brought in a couple of players, other teams have strengthened their squads way beyond what we were capable of. I can only see a period of decline for this Norwich team, and this is going to be a very, very tough season for us. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Norwich, part 50, season 7, in the Ferguson save, set in the future. And currently in the Ferguson save, we are well on course. We have 500 points and we only have the treble to win to complete the save. However, this now is going to be made very, very difficult because, as you can see, we've had the worst start this season that we have ever had to a season here at Norwich, and currently we are sitting in 8th. We only have 8 points from our first 5 games, and Chelsea, who have been strengthening their squad beyond recognition, even bringing in the top striker in the world. They paid over £100 million for him, and Chelsea have a maximum 15 points from their 5 games. We are already 7 points behind Chelsea, and this season is probably going to turn out to be a nightmare. We will be lucky to qualify for the Champions League. And today we will be playing 2 home games. We will be at home to Bournemouth in the Premier League, a game we must win. We have to start recovering. And then we will play our opening game in the Champions League. We will be at home to Rangers of the Scottish Premier League. And Rangers, like Celtic, have improved immensely over the last 20 years and have become a very big force in European football. And whilst I thought we had improved the squad quite well, other teams have improved a lot more. We cannot compete financially. If the board just keep giving us £29 million every summer, then we cannot compete with the likes of Chelsea or Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City. It is just not possible to keep up with them. And we are seeing, I think, a period of decline now as we go into this season. But before we go into what has been happening both on and off the pitch, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, then you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch, comment, do all that good stuff and help the channel to grow and help us to support the British Heart Foundation. But following last episode, there was the matter of the European Super Cup, which we were playing against Rennes. This was a very, very tight encounter, going to extra time. And this is what happened. And so in terms of competitions this season, we are playing in 6 competitions. We have already won the Community Shield and now we have won the UEFA Super Cup. It is, however, a problem for us because our league form is everything. And at the moment, our league form is absolutely diabolical. So let's go and have a look at what has happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were last with us, you saw us beating Sheffield United by 2-1, coming from a goal behind. I was not very happy, and I didn't at that time, as you recall, feel that the team were playing very well. And it's gone on to show that. We followed that with that 2-0 victory after extra time in the UEFA Super Cup, a game that could have gone either way, but we were just stronger than them when it went into extra time. And then the first of the bad results. We played away at Chelsea and were soundly beaten, in all fairness, by 2-0, and that was followed by a 0-0 draw against Manchester United, who have also strengthened their squad a great deal this season. We followed that with what I believe to be a very lucky 2-1 victory, 2 late goals against Everton coming from a goal behind again. This team is not playing very well. And that was followed again with a very lucky 1-1 away draw at Newcastle. This team is not playing very well, and it is showing in the results. And one of the most interesting things is, if we have a look at our goals scored, you cannot see a forward amongst them. Finardi has 2 goals in his 2 appearances, 4 off the bench, but both of those are penalties. There are very few goals that have been scored, and none of the forwards have actually scored a goal. And as you know, the game is playing hardball, and it played hardball again because I had to make a choice as to whether to give Lewis Wilden a brand new contract. And so it was decided that we would give him a 2-year contract. And I checked his profile to find that he was not showing that he was declining in any way. As soon as he signed his contract, I checked again, and then I got the news that he has declined slightly as a footballer over the last 2 months. This game is playing hardball, and it's forcing me into decisions without giving me the information that I need. As a result, he hasn't scored at all this season, and it has been desperately difficult for us up front. I think the only way forward is to buy young players, to bring in young players, to develop our own youth and try to do it that way. We cannot compete financially with the rest of the league. And in the transfer window, we did make a couple of signings, but we had to let Henry Flores go. He went out to Juventus for £55 million. We got £49 million up front, which enabled us to make the signings that we wanted to do. We spent a lot of money on Enrique Hernandez. He's come in from Portimonense. He's come in for 40.5 million, rising to 45.5 million. He is a left back, and I wanted to let McSweeney go, but unfortunately McSweeney declined contracts. He's rejected contracts, so we were left with bringing this boy in. He's 24 years old. He is a good player, lacks crossing and dribbling, but we only want him to play as a fullback on support. His mentals are extremely good, and his physicals are excellent, and he has bags of pace. So hopefully he will do a very good job for us this season. And then we brought in Hallam Perwen from Newcastle. He's come in on loan. It's a strange arrangement. He's 23 years old, and it just goes to show the calibre of player that the opposition teams have. Because if I had this player, there's no way I would be saying, oh, we can't give you first team football, we're going to have to let you go out on loan. He is an exceptional talent, and we have an optional buy fee for around 210 million, which is absolutely ludicrous. But we've brought him in for a season to see if he can help us out this season in midfield. But he is the kind of player that I wish I could sign, and we're not able to do that at the moment. So we've got him on loan for a season. I hope that he will help us out and help us get to the Champions League again next season. And so that is what has happened in the transfer window. It has been fairly quiet, but we do have a current injury. We have Clark Pook out. He has a hip injury, and he's expected to be out for around about 3 months. So the problems just keep going and going this season. First off, we have not been allowed to scout any nations. Second off, our forwards now are all out of form and cannot hit a barn door if it fell on them. Not just one of them, all of them. And finally, one of our key players has been sidelined until about Christmas. It's just not going our way at the moment, and I have to find a way to start scoring goals again. And maybe it is time to play Finardi a lot more this season, as well as Jay Neal up top. Jay Neal is also in awful form, and his average rating is around about 6.4 or 6.5. It's just absolutely dreadful at the moment. But we do have two games that we need to win today. We're at home to Bournemouth, and then we're at home to Rangers in the Champions League. I need to get the team ready for this game against Bournemouth. Let's go and kick some balls. And so we have moved to a different formation. It is the Brazilian 4-2-4, which I have slightly adapted to a 4-2-3-1. This is to accommodate Maric, because if I do go to the Brazilian 4-2-4, Maric doesn't fit within the team. And so the team for today is Götze in goal, with Kamara, Raheem, Afbey, Hernandez at the back. Ibran and Pasquale in midfield, with Zaprapoulos, Maric and Aranda behind Wilden, who will play as a deep line forward on attack. We have to try something different. We cannot keep doing what we're doing. We can't score goals. And as you can see, Wilden has an average rating of 6.27, and this might be his last chance to impress, or he will be on the bench. So we are going with this Brazilian style of play. It is slightly amended, but we have to try and do something in order to win this game. This is a match that we should be winning. Make sure you do, boys, because we are going to be in desperate trouble if we don't win this. And yeah, I do need to turn that off as well, the pre-match stuff. And it is going to be Bournemouth to start the game. There is going to be a highlight from the kickoff, and we need to turn the ball over and get attacking. It is going to be an attacking team from this point on. Whatever happens is whatever happens. The 4-1-2-2-1 for some reason now is not working, and we cannot play football in that system. It might be some of the new signings have messed it up, but here is Wilden bursting into the box. He has a chance, and he's made it 1-0. And Wilden, from nowhere, I think possibly because I had a word with him in training and told him, "Oi, you need to buck up, sunshine." Wilden has made it. Norwich 1, Bournemouth 0. I wasn't expecting that. Wilden has been so poor this season, uncharacteristically poor, but he's turned up today, and he started the game for us very well. Within 30 seconds, we are a goal to the good. Let's keep attacking. Let's keep trying to win this match. Let's keep trying to score goals. The good news is that we've had 2 shots and we've had 2 on target, and that's really all that counts. All that you need to look at in Football Manager 23 is just to make sure that at least 50% of your shots are on target, and then you're going to get something out of the game. And at the moment, it's all looking good. And there's another pass looking for... Oh! And that was fired over the bar. I think he should have scored. It was Aranda, I think, and that should have been 2-0. But we do have a free kick, and it's going to be Zaprapoulos. Zaprapoulos pass it into the side netting. It's still 1-0. Bournemouth have hardly been in the game, but 1 goal is not enough. We need another goal to ease the nerves around the ground as Bournemouth are looking to counter-attack. We need to cut that out. We have, and here's Kamara. Kamara finds Zaprapoulos. He finds Maric. We need a good game from Maric. It's cost a lot of money. Here's Wilden for Aranda. Aranda's in. It's 2-0. That's the goal I wanted. And maybe I found the key, and that's to play Wilden now in a deeper role, and if he can feed other people in now, his confidence will grow. And that's what he did there. He's come deep and he's just fed in Aranda. Aranda's driven it into the goal, and it is now 2-0 to Norwich. 20 minutes are gone. We are back. Hopefully we are back. And I did have concerns that the 4-1-2-2-1 was perhaps not working anymore. We had to mix it up, do something different. And Aranda has taken a knock now, which is not good news. So we need to make a substitution at half-time. But at the moment, we're doing okay. It's still 2-0 to Norwich as Bournemouth looking to get back into the game. And that's a good save by Götze. Nice to see Götze holding on to the ball as he's been out of form as well. And he finds Zaprapoulos. Zaprapoulos looking to counter-attack. It is this a counter-attacking tactic, and Maric is in. We must score. But Maric decided to go alone instead of finding Wilden, and it comes to nothing. Hernandez finds Abde, and it is half-time. And we've done well, but we could be doing even better. And that's what I'm going to tell them. And keep going. You have the ability. You weren't that bad. We're on track now. So let's keep going. Nice to see Wilden with a score of 8. I need to go and make a couple of substitutions. I think I'll be right back. And so I have taken off Aranda and we have brought on Fanardi. Fanardi has to play well this season because I think he's got to be the #1 striker next season. He's got so much promise, that boy, but he's never quite delivered. And it might be my fault for not giving him the game time that he truly deserves. Wilden has been such a good player. He struggled to get into the team. Zaprapoulis almost won the ball in the penalty area. It comes to Fanardi. Fanardi, who's now playing on the left wing. He finds Zaprapoulis. Zaprapoulis to Pasquale. Pasquale with a ball over the top to Zaprapoulis. Squares it. It is 3-0. Lewis Wilden is back. He's got his second goal. It's Norwich 3, Bournemouth 0. That's what was needed, was a change of system. And boy, has this worked. We had to tweak it a little bit to accommodate Marich. Marich is having a good game. Wilden's having a great game. Everybody is playing reasonably well. And it is now 3-0. And that should be game over. And it's nice when you start scoring goals again, because the last month has not been great, but Bournemouth have got one back. This is an attacking system and you will concede goals, but we've just got to hope that the philosophy of scoring more goals than the opposition will actually work for us. And at the moment, Bournemouth are hardly in the game, but you would expect to concede when you are playing so attacking. At the moment, I'm not too worried because our shots on target ratio is still pretty good. So that does mean that we should be winning the game. And Bournemouth also, though, have a good shots on target ratio. I think we need to make some changes. And so we have made our changes. It is quite interesting, though. I can't long-term play this tactic because we don't have the midfielders capable of playing in this style. I might have to make one of them into a box-to-box or a centre mid so that we can accommodate the new signings. I wasn't expecting to have to change from the 4-1-2-2-1. But now that we may have to change the tactic. But here come Bournemouth again. This game does not look over by a long shot as Bournemouth are looking to get forward. And we must remain focused. And I'm going to shout at the team and tell them to focus because Bournemouth are coming back into this game. And we need to hold on. But this result is so important to us. Thomas finds Muntian. Muntian's come on at DM. He looks for Abde, and Abde finds Plantier. Plantier looking for Abde. Abde finds Muntian. Muntian passing it about in midfield. This is nice. Ibaran with the ball over to Fanardi. Fanardi is in, and Fanardi's got the 4th. And I think that should put the game to bed now. And Fanardi is such a good player. He does deserve more playing time. Maybe I haven't spent enough time developing Fanardi, and he does deserve his chance, I think. As Wilden is getting older, I think he will be the man who takes over. He looks sharp. He's got his 3rd goal of the season, albeit that the last 2 were penalties. And at the moment, it's Norwich 4. Bournemouth 1. This is the response I was looking for from this team. But here come Bournemouth again. Bournemouth are not finished. They have men in space here. We've managed, though, to regroup and get men back into position. But we need to close this down, which we've done. Ibaran's done really well, and Gotts can clear. Can we win this ball now? And we cannot. We need to pick up the second ball, and our forwards have gone far too far forward to pick up the second ball. Here is Thomas. Thomas finds Muntian. We may need a period of time to get used to this tactic now, and I might bring in a centre mid instead of... And here's... Who is this? It's Perwan. Perwan, he finds Plantier, but unfortunately it comes to nothing, and Bournemouth will break again. And that was Perwan. I think his name is Perwan, and that is going to be a red card for Ibaran. That is the last thing I wanted. My best midfielder I'm going to have to bring Pehwan back here now to play as a centre mid. And I don't know why Ibaran has gone and done that. We don't have the personnel at the moment to cope with that kind of thing. He's going to get suspended for 3 games. It's a good victory, but it's not what I was hoping for. The red card has made the day a little bit sour as Wilden bursts into the box and Wilden can't put it away. It's still 4-1, and it's been good because the system has worked. The change of system has worked. It comes all the way out to Fanardi on the right wing this time. What is he doing there? And the ball comes out to Bournemouth. Bournemouth looking to break forward. And I need to go into a slightly less attacking style with 10 men, as Bournemouth are looking to get the last word in this game. We're going to win it. It's just, can we keep it at 4-1, or are Bournemouth going to get the last word? It's been a good victory, but it's been soured by the sending off of Ibaran. He is my best midfielder. We've got so many games coming up, one after the other. I don't think we're going to be able to cope without Ibaran. And we just got to hope that the Champions League does start well, as Bournemouth look to try and get the last goal. They can't. It's still Norwich 4, Bournemouth 1. We have recovered, but I'm not too happy, to be honest. Because losing Ibaran is like the worst thing that could possibly happen. And with Puk already out long term, he's one of my key players, losing Ibaran as well now. This is not good news. We have a game coming up against Rangers now in the Champions League, the opener for the Champions League. I need to go and get the team ready if I can for that game. I don't feel very optimistic about any game at the moment. We shall be right back just before the game. And here we are for the game against Rangers. And today we have Prescott in goal, with Avbey, Raguin, Rahim and Plantier at the back. Ibaran, Pehwen, Zaprapoulis in midfield, with Aranda, Kitambala and Wilden up front. Wilden keeps his place, and you might have noticed that we have gone back to the 4-1-2-2-1, but what I've done is, knowing that the 4-1-2-2-1 doesn't work anymore at this point in time, what I've done is I've gone and put the instructions and the team instructions and player instructions of the 4-2-4 into the 4-1-2-2-1. I have to try something. This game is messing with me, so I've got to mess with the game. And so we've just used formations and used the different instructions within the formation that did work in the previous fixture. I haven't got the players to continue playing that now. I wasn't expecting to play the 4-2-4 this season. It's come at a much earlier time than I was expecting. And I hope that we're doing the right thing. The instructions did work last time. Let's hope it's the instructions this time, as Wilden is in, and Wilden has put us a goal to the good. We are off and running. I think the referee, though, is checking for offside. And I'm not sure what the decision is going to be. I think he was onside myself. And the goal is awarded. It's Norwich 1, Rangers 0. Zaprapoulis did well. It was a lovely pass. And Pehwen found Wilden. And Wilden drilled it into the corner. Wilden's back. And it's nice to see Wilden getting on the score sheet again. And lovely move. Found the space. And he has made it 1-0 to Norwich. And it is, though, a throw for Rangers. We do have to be careful. We are attacking, and we will concede goals, as Rangers are looking to come forward. And Rangers are into the penalty area. They have a chance. It is cleared, half cleared, but the game, but the highlight comes to nothing. And here's Zaprapoulis with the free kick. Zaprapoulos over the ball. Can he bend it into the near post? It's a lovely save by the goalkeeper. It remains Norwich 1, Rangers 0. We're the team who are looking better. We've had shots on target again, and that's all that matters. And as long as we keep getting shots on target, we will win this game. Rangers, on the other hand, have had 0 shots on target from their attempts, and so it's looking like we are dominating the game. We've had most of the possession, and we are actually looking a much better team. It is, though, about finishing, and we're not finishing extremely well. We have to be finishing better, but at the moment it's still Norwich 1, Rangers 0. We do have a corner flung into the far post. Can we get on the end of it? It hit the post and gone out for a goal kick. We are a bit unlucky at the moment. We're hitting the woodwork a lot. We've had a lot of disallowed goals. My assistant doesn't want me getting stuck in at the moment. We are picking up a couple of yellow cards, and there is Wilden again. Wilden is back, and the referee's checking for offside again. And one of the things the game needs to take out is the number of times VAR is actually checked. It has been awarded. Wilden, with his head this time, has made it 2-0, and we are back in the game. And I wonder if it's just the way we've been playing and using the instructions from the 4-2-4 has actually made all the difference here. And now we are 2-0 up against Rangers. Rangers may not be the greatest team in the world, but then teams like Middlesbrough and Sunderland and all those others are not the greatest teams in the world either. And there's perhaps a lack of pace showing there from Wilden, as it remains Norwich 2, Rangers 0. But we've done well, and it is nice to see Pechwan, who is on a 7.3, Wilden on a 7.3. It's a bit mean for Wilden having scored 2 goals, but Rangers are looking to bring it forward. We need to stop these attacks, and we have. And Kitambala has picked the loose ball up, trying to look for Wilden, can't find him. Ball comes out to a Rangers player. Rangers are looking to score here. They've curled it over the crossbar, and I thought that was going to be a goal back for Rangers. It isn't. It remains 2-0. And at half-time, no, we will have a free kick just before half-time. Zaprapoulos tries to curl it in. The goalkeeper's made a complete hash of that. And we have now gone 3-0 up. We are back. We are scoring goals. And it's just sometimes, if you are feeling down when this game is getting to you, change something. We've changed something yet again, and it's paid off. And the 4-1 win we had last time, and we are now 3-0 up in this one. It's paid off, and this team just needs to keep going now. And Ibaran, we can probably run him into the ground. We don't need to substitute him. He is going to be unavailable for the next game, but it does give me a little bit more confidence that now we've changed something, we're starting to get results. And here is Plantier driving into the box. Can we get another one? And it is. And it is Aranda who's picked up on another Rangers mistake. I'm guessing they are not the best team in the world, Rangers, but it is now Norwich 4, Rangers 0. We are back, and to score 4 goals in both games today has lifted my spirits a little bit. Poor errors. One from the goalkeeper we saw earlier. Now their centre-back has made a dreadful error. And we have gone top of the Champions League group. But it's very early days. It's just our first game. We do have a corner, though, and Zaprapoulos will fire it in the corner to the back post. It is now 5-0. And it is Raheem who has made it 5-0. He's a good player, Raheem. I'm expecting big things from him this season, and he hasn't delivered so far. Nobody has delivered so far. Changing things about a bit has helped. I think we found a system we can move on with for the time being, and so far so good. It's all about team instructions then at the end of the day, not about the shape that you're playing. We're playing the Brazilian team instructions with the 4-1-2 2-2-1, and there was another chance, and we will have another corner. So I think that we got to, when we are in trouble in the future, we've got to think about team instructions. How can we alter it to make it better? And what seems to be functioning better than other systems? And this Brazilian system of play seems to be working a lot better. Time to go and make some changes. And so we have made our changes, and we should hopefully see this game out without any further problems now. We've been attacking for the last 2 games, and it's paid off. And here is Fanardi. Fanardi looking wide for Thomas. Thomas takes the ball well, finds Neil. Neil bursting forward. Can he get across? Can he get it across the box? Yes, he can. We have a man spare, but it's a great save. Fanardi couldn't find the net this time. It's a great save by the goalkeeper. But again, another fine burst into the box by J. Neil. And I'd love to see these players returning back to the form that they displayed last season. It would be so good. We've had a very poor start. Have we recovered? It's too early to say, I think. We've played a little bit with the team instructions and with formations. But again, it's too early to say. When we're playing this attacking, we're going to concede goals. We have conceded one. It's Norwich 5, Rangers 1. And it doesn't really matter that in the grand scheme of things. But defensively, we do still need to remember we need to be solid rather than leaking goals. But we'll work on that. And I'm happier that we're scoring goals now. I had to get back to scoring goals. That's worked. We've scored 9 and conceded 2 in the last 2 fixtures. What a good performance that was. It's a good start to the Champions League. I don't mind giving away that late goal. It saves us having to pay clean sheet bonuses. But we are top of the Champions League at the moment, and we have recovered, and we are sitting in 3rd in the Premier League. And so today's episode has been pretty successful. A 4-1 home victory against Bournemouth, followed by a 5-1 home victory against Rangers. I need to think about how do I really want to play this and sort out and get ourselves into a more decent system. I will need to do some work with the team before we come up against West Ham, but I'm pretty sure the team will respond to whatever we want them to do. We've recovered. Hopefully not just for the short term. And that's it for this video. If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, well, you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch, comment, do all that stuff and help the channel to grow. Help us to support the British Heart Foundation. I think we'll come back probably for Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool at the end of October, and we'll see what kind of turns our season has taken up to that point. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and all that remains to be said now is stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.